sorry, dude.
You're gonna cry.
Little baby.
Fuck you. Anyway, I don't want to do the bit anymore.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't like it. I didn't think about it too hard, and I was like,
Oh, now you don't want to do the bit.
No, I don't want to do the bit.
Yeah, there you go, everyone. Aaron's too scared to do a little bit at the beginning of the podcast. He doesn't want to entertain you guys. He's here to just, I don't know. Why are you here, Aaron?
I'm here to stroke one off, you know?
Stroke one off?
Yeah, dude. Like the sound of my voice? Oof.
You know, I was getting pretty close to stroking one off to the show that we watched, but that's for the next episode. Because we actually have something that's not degenerate to talk about for this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it got a little degenerate.
I don't know. It looked all right to me. I was like, this is some memeable stuff right now. Okay. I thought it was really funny.
It was
Your
degenerate.
reactions were even better though.
It was degenerate at the end, but I kind of expected it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's fine to have a little bit. I just always shake my head. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it more on the next podcast. So you guys are gonna have to stick.
Well,
around
no. I was
one.
talking about what we're going to talk about this episode.
Oh, this episode.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that wasn't even that bad.
See this?
You just saw 2 levels, and you're like, that one's way.
Oh, absolutely.
Way better.
What we watched. Okay, so I'll just explain what we watched. We watched Darwin's Game.
Correct.
We watched 2 episodes of that
Yes.
before coming here to the studio to record.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we did afterwards, because we were going to play some Smash Bros. And we were going to be like an hour until we started recording. And then Aaron said, yo, I have a great show. Okay, you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me for it.
Mm-hmm.
But hear me out. This is peak anime. And I was like, okay, dude.
What ensued after that was just so funny. Like, we'll insert a couple of clips of Adam's reaction to the show.
Or we'll have like a separate video for it. Not sure
Yeah.
exactly what we're going to do yet.
We'll see what we come up with, but it is A quality. Like, it can't get any better.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we didn't come up with the idea to start recording it until a few minutes after we realized
Yes.
how ridiculous my reaction was. So it's still just painful, but
Yeah. It'll be good, though. It'll be good. I think they'll enjoy it, hopefully. It's something to look
now
out
no
for.
one should enjoy the show. And again, the show I haven't said the name of the show, but the show we're talking about.
Wait, let's leave that a mystery.
We'll
for
leave
next
it a
time.
mystery?
Yeah, we'll leave it a
Okay.
mystery.
So if you want to know, you'll either have seen the video because it's uploaded,
Yep.
or
just check out the next podcast.
of course. But we have more important matters to talk about, which is
Correct.
Darwin's Game.
Correct. Darwin's Game. Quick synopsis of like the first 2 episodes. Basically, it's a game, and in the game you have a sigil.
It's a mobile game on your phone.
Correct. Basically, it's a death game, and you get a sigil, and your sigil is your like superpower, quote unquote, or like your quirk.
So yeah, I guess the best way to best way to explain it is like, hey, this is my quirk. Or if you're like me who just watched JoJo's, is like, okay, this is pretty much having a stand. Every person
Correct.
has a personalized stand. I'm not sure if this show, their power relates to their personality.
I would assume so. It makes it seem like that in a sense.
Probably.
Or they're just random, but
Because the main girl that we see, she has long braids, and then she has these chains
that's true.
kind of coincide with the fact that she has these long braids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how JoJo's is too. The character has a stand that is like their innermost self comes out and becomes their stand.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
It's much better in part 4 because part 3
Right.
it just seems like people have random stands. But in part 4, when people have stands, it closely resembles the type of character that they are. So they play more niche roles.
For sure.
But
Yeah, let's start with the opening scene though to Darwin's Game. What were your thoughts on the initial just like guy comes in a panda suit and is trying to kill a guy?
Yeah, so just as some context before I actually start explaining what I think about it. We watched it together, but didn't say like anything about it.
Correct.
We were completely waiting, so Aaron doesn't even know what I'm going to say for this.
I don't even know if you like the show or not.
Yeah,
I'm completely in the dark. I was basing everything just on your reaction.
I was trying to be anonymous about it, but I think I made it pretty clear that I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
I'm relating it to JoJo's.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
did
a
mention
good sign.
that. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're on a good path.
So the first part is just something random out of context.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy running away from this guy in a panda suit, and he gets killed. The guy clearly has invisibility powers, and this other guy has some ability to shoot razor blades out of like a
Yeah,
a
so he had
thing.
like a knife, like a
Like an
like a
X-Acto
box cutter knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
box
yeah,
cutter.
yeah. And then basically he could just shoot them out as projectile, like high intensity projectiles. But like we don't really get much about him, as we later find out. Like
He's
10
just
seconds.
he's just meant to be an opening piece.
Correct.
And then, honestly, some people might be opposed to the fact that the show started off as fast as it did, but I really like that. I hate when shows kind of slug around. Obviously, the main character's asking a few questions.
Right.
When we meet him,
Mm-hmm.
he opens up the app.
Yes.
He stupidly, if that's even a word, he's a moron, and
It
he
yeah.
opens the app on accident.
It really bothers me though, just because like the main character, the first thing he's told is don't open the app, and what's the first thing he does?
Cliche right there.
Cliche, open the app. And I'm just like, I feel like there's better ways to go about that, but it's like, what, like, the stupidity that all of the main characters have in most animes is just kind of like, really?
It doesn't matter. To a degree, it's annoying, but they get it out of the way instantly.
That's true.
And what I like about it is it just, because I don't want to say no one cares about those intro parts and like
Yeah,
a little
it's like
of the
you
story.
just need something to dive into the story.
But me personally,
right.
I enjoyed the fact that it jumped right into it. It didn't put too much focus on it. He already kind of has an idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because the premise of the show is interesting to me.
Yes.
It's a very modern version of your standard like power shows.
Correct.
So I think it's cool, and I'm probably gonna keep watching it.
Oh, bet.
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
Cool.
Like we can keep watching it and
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I think this is a good series for us to talk about. But
For sure.
so going back to after the first scene, there's no intro or anything in the first episode, and then we get a look. Yeah, I
No, I'm
figured it.
surprised you didn't like mention the.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's this funny scene at the beginning where the guy dies, and whoever's on the animation team, kudos to you because that made me genuinely laugh. The guy, it zooms out a little bit and it shows the guy on his knees after his throat got slit,
Yes.
and he just like starts spazzing out, and it's so hysterical. I don't know why they did it that way, but it made any shock value just go into laughter.
Yeah, which I can appreciate.
Oh yeah, I mean, it instantly had me laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was pretty interesting. I was like, okay, this is
I thought it was
odd.
yes. I also thought it was cool that they showed the blood because most like animes won't show blood. Like if it's not at a certain rating, like if it's TV 14 or TV M for mature, then sometimes they won't show it. But like I thought it was cool. It's like okay, there's blood here. That means like there's consequences to when things happen. Like if you mess up, you're dead. Like anything happens, like you could die.
So, yeah, we move on from that, and it's instantly your stereotypical Japanese classroom in school.
Yes.
Which, okay, I've never actually looked at what a real school looks like.
You know what? Neither have I.
I'm gonna look it up, but
Okay.
I just instantly saw it and I made a comment. Stereotypical schoolroom, like.
But I feel like you could say the same thing about most like high school shows that like picture like a US like classroom where it's like okay, a typical high school in the US is like a hallway, a bunch of lockers, and then just classrooms on each side. Where this one's kind of like this one's more built like a box instead of like a long T for like an American high school, which I thought is something that's definitely a bit different, but nevertheless I'm just used to it at this point where it's like, yep, that's what a high school looks like.
No, I can't pass it off as, oh, dude, it's another standard-looking anime. Now, I will
Right.
say, to a degree, the main character, at least,
Yeah.
isn't too interesting. That'll change. Obviously, his ability is the interesting part about him.
Yes.
And, of course, you might be able to say, oh, of course, he's the chosen one. Cliche, blah, blah, blah. You kind of have to do that for all shows. Obviously, there's going to be one character, the main character, which has some good, really big power.
Yeah.
Like, that's the idea
What-
of
yeah,
most
exactly.
anime.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why we're following that character is because like it'd be boring if we followed like the character that died like 5 minutes into the show. It's kind of like, oh, well.
But
that
I'm
ended.
just saying I still enjoy shows.
Where it's like an underdog or like what are you getting at?
No, like for most anime, you
Yeah.
have your main characters.
Correct.
but I'm talking about other shows that I enjoy.
Okay.
So like that 70s show, which obviously is a completely
Yeah, I
different
was about to say what
thing, but there's a main character in that show, but like
Yeah.
all the characters main characters, you know? You don't just
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
like Eric Foreman is the main character, but not
Okay.
every show is always about him.
Right. No, there's definitely okay. I see what you mean. Like
You don't
yeah,
really
like,
see that in anime.
like you don't need. No, you definitely do. You just haven't seen it.
Okay, well there you
Yeah.
go.
No, I know what you mean. Where it's like you don't need like if that one character were to disappear, the show could continue
Mhm.
without a problem. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not dependent on him.
Well, not necessarily, but I don't know. I've gotten used to it at this point.
Okay.
The first few episodes is always, oh my gosh, I'm a weakling, I'm a loser, but no, I have confidence and I'm going to kick ass.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I did like. I mean, I'm gonna keep referencing JoJo's
That's fine.
forever. But at the beginning of JoJo's, everyone's just some built, muscular dude. But it's not like
But
Jonathan just happens to be some crazy powerful guy. Now, I will say, like within 2 episodes, he randomly meets this dude who allows him to learn Hamon, and then
oh, that one. Okay.
you know they move on to fighting evil, and yeah. Every show's like it.
Yeah, typically.
But
Every action anime is like that. Typically. 'Cause
If-
I was about to say, there's still completely different like areas and genres that you haven't seen.
the faster I can turn my brain off, the better, dude.
Oh my god.
Not saying I was turning my brain off, just when I was watching this show, I was liking it.
Okay.
The guy got pretty lucky with the first fight he was in. I want to know how his friend died. What happened with his friend? Because they were fighting the
Which
panda
one?
bear,
Yeah.
and the one that was like, "Dude, leave me by myself."
Oh, he just bled out.
He just bled out.
Yeah, he was lying to him. He told him like, "Dude, you need to stop focusing on me." I think his mindset or his thought process was, if you keep focusing on me and trying to make sure I live, we're both gonna die because you can't like protect me and yourself without your sigil, because he didn't know it at that point. So he was like, I'll take one for the team, I'll die out and and give you the fighting chance, which is why he was like, go, like I'll be fine. But he was bleeding out. Like, remember the scene where he was like, oh yeah, the bleeding stopped. That's complete bullshit. Like, he's definitely still bleeding. He's about to die, but
Okay,
kinda what you have
that's
to do.
fair. Yeah, to a degree, I was actually believing him when
Oh,
he
really?
said,
oh, some
"Yeah,
good acting
leave
right
me."
there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
But he died, so whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, no one actually cares that he died. He's just,
True.
again,
Were you surprised that he died so early? Were you surprised
Nah, he's a
that both of his
puppies.
friends died within like the first episode?
if you want to talk about convenience, the fact that he didn't really cry or get upset about any of this, yeah, that of course is
Mm-hmm.
stupid. But they have to move the plot forward, and I'm okay
Right.
with him not caring about that.
Well, he did cry after his second friend died.
Oh, yeah, but, he instantly just moves on to, okay, this is, which I'm not bashing on this. I'm
Right.
saying I genuinely like the fact that he gets over it. He understands the game pretty fast. Within the first 2 episodes, he's got, like, an idea of what's going on.
Yes. Yeah.
And I totally like that because maybe I am just a mindless child that can't comprehend good story. But I do want them to move on with the idea of the show, which is
Right.
the sigils. Is that what
Mhm.
they're called? The sigils and the fighting. I do have a worry, though. Obviously, it's probably going to get resolved
Right.
within a few episodes
Mm-hmm.
more. But it seems like most of the abilities are not super powerful. We'll probably learn
Right.
that some of them get really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like a gun can, like, no one's invincible, right? They're still just normal humans.
correct.
So guns seem to be a really powerful
Mhm.
tool.
So
but-
like, what are you getting at?
Well, I'm just thinking because it seems like the main character's ability is to whatever he wants, he can just make it with his hands.
Right. That's the thing though. So just for a bit of context, I'm 2 episodes ahead of Adam, and obviously he's gonna catch up, and then we'll just watch them in sync, so that way like I don't know a bit more than he does.
Mm-hmm.
But with the like, assuming I've only seen the first 2 episodes, I don't know if that's true, because like the only things he's come up with have been the handgun and the taser.
Which are things he's seen.
Exactly.
So maybe he needs to already possess them or already see them.
Exactly.
But-
That's why I was confused. I was like, in my mindset, it's like if I'm trying to come up with something, I'd come up with a better gun or something a bit more useful than like a taser in the middle of a
But
situation.
of course, he doesn't put 2 and 2 together
That's
that
true.
I'm making stuff. Now, he does put it together when he gets the gun. He says, hey, dude, I'm going to make this gun.
Yeah.
But when we are first shown a little bit of his ability, he like drops a pencil or a pen,
Oh, a pen. Yeah.
on the
He
ground.
also made a pen. You're
And
right.
he wants the pen. He says, I think it's over here.
Yeah.
And his hand glows like he's doing something, which
Right.
is his sigil. And next thing you know, he has the pen in his hand. But then later scene, you see the nurse go under the desk and see the pen again. She
Correct.
says, I thought I got this. And she
Yeah.
had 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking at first, oh, he can copy stuff.
Right. That's what I thought.
I thought he could duplicate. But
Yeah,
the
that's
instant,
Uh-huh.
well, I was just going to say the instant that he, what did he pull out when he was running away from her that he really wanted?
He pulled out a gun.
No, he pulled out the gun when he was, is it? Oh, yeah, he did
Yeah.
pull out the gun. He said he really wanted a gun. And he pulls out a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, okay, he can just, whatever he wants,
But here's the thing.
he can get.
Don't you remember earlier in that episode, he got a package of a gun. So he had held the gun before and he had seen the gun.
No. Okay, yes, that's true.
That's a gun. Yeah.
So maybe he has to have come in contact with it already.
Right.
Or anything he's touched. I don't know the details yet, but
Neither do I. Which I think is cool. Like, add a bit of mystery. Like, I think it's fun, like, discovering what he can do. Although I feel like in the future that might be, like, I hope they don't abuse that where it's, like, because it's not defined, it can become super
It's pretty overpowered, yeah.
last second and you're like, oh, this is, like, a fucking, an ex machina where it's like, well, this is just super plot convenient with, like, no detail.
I can see this getting pretty plot convenient.
Yeah. I just hope they establish a couple of rules and explain that at some point. It doesn't have to be, like, verbally, but if, like, we can figure out, okay, this is what it can do and this is what it can't, because then it prevents, like, things like that happening in the future where it's like, oh, like, let me just summon, like, a nuke where it's like,
Yeah, I have no idea.
Exactly.
It obviously has to be something that he can hold in his hand.
maybe, I don't know.
But again, it'll probably be explained eventually.
True.
The one thing I am concerned about is, so he fights this girl, right?
Yeah.
And she said the only way for me to not die is to surrender to
Oh.
you, and that means I have to be obedient to you.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, so you surrender, and then like, I don't know how that changes their will to not want to do anything to that person.
Right.
Maybe they can't harm them anymore. They can't challenge them to the game.
I'm actually thinking back about it. I think that the reason that she said I'll submit to you is because I think she actually likes him. Like,
Clearly.
well, yeah, I believe it's one of those things where she likes him, and as a result, she wants to just be a companion to him. So she's not wanting to, attack him anymore. So to make him feel at ease, she's saying, I will be your partner. Like, I want to build a clan with you. I don't actually think it's a rule where if, like, you surrender, you die.
So she must have lost points or something, because everyone figured out about it. They said, "Oh, you beat the." Is she the
A4. She's the undefeated witch? Undefeated.
no, queen? No.
Undefeated queen. Yeah. That's
it
what it was.
undefeated queen?
Undefeated queen. Yep.
So everyone figures out about this. Then conveniently, this one girl, who just happens to be someone who sells information about other people's sigils,
Right.
is recording the entire thing. Has cameras in all the warehouses, unless she like hacked the cameras.
Which
or
I
something.
think it's viable. Like, if you're tech savvy enough, like, it's easier to get information. And I don't think everyone is. So, like, having one person that is, it's like, yeah, I could believe it. It made enough sense where it wasn't, like, completely out of the realm of possibility.
So then that makes the scene later where that guy tries fighting him and he punches him once and he's like, "Oh, dude, that's it. You're really only gonna fight. You're not gonna fight back at all.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to call your girlfriend over." And then he says, "Oh, bro, you just got one good hit on me. It's
Correct.
not over yet." And then he threatens to like destroy his phone,
With the stun gun that he's.
and then he just
Summoned.
surrenders.
Yeah.
So it's
That
like,
made sense, though. Like, he has his phone. Like, the second that's broken, it's very difficult to continue, as he explained earlier.
yeah, he's
So it was like
he's
a
at
little bit of
disadvantage.
foreshadowing.
But then he surrenders,
Correct.
and
That's
nothing
why.
happens to him. I thought, well, the way you were at least explaining it is that if you play the game all the way through, whoever has the most points, if no one dies, whoever has the most points wins, and the other person dies, or you just die and lose.
Correct.
they haven't established a surrender thing yet, so I'm still
Yeah.
confused how it works.
Yeah, it's definitely still up in the air because we've only seen 2 people surrender. Both of them lived. But if you have the opportunity to surrender, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Why wouldn't you always surrender then if you're
Yeah.
about to die? Doesn't
Although,
make sense.
okay, I think thinking about it a bit more, it makes sense in the context that right now the main character, the protagonist, seems to be the only person who doesn't genuinely want to kill people.
Yeah.
And so if you're fighting, say I'm fighting you and I'm trying to kill you and I want to kill you, like there's a want
Yeah.
there, then even if you surrender, like I can still kill you. Like nothing's going to stop me. It's not like laws are like useless in this situation.
But the game would say if
Yeah, you surrendered, but after that, I'm
In-
still eliminating an opponent because I could be thinking, oh, he has a grudge on me later or something like that. It's one of those things where it's like, I might as well just kill you now.
but that
Why
wasn't
not?
established. We don't know
No, that's
if
right. I'm just.
people kill outside of the game itself.
I would assume so. That guy was very intent on killing. Like he didn't have a single problem killing his friend or like attacking his friend to the point of death. Obviously, he had the priority of trying to kill the main character, but nevertheless,
I don't
trying
know.
to kill is
I hope it's established a little more because
yeah.
to me the understanding is that you could just surrender whenever. There's no repercussions other than going down in rank.
Status and points.
And obviously people just instantly know who you are as a person, so hiding's practically impossible.
I feel like they have a good understanding based on your avatar, but if like you look similar to someone,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, and then like finding someone, it's not like everyone has a GPS. You only have a GPS while you're in like a match
But that other guy found him pretty fast.
because he got the information from the chick saying, "Hey, he's gonna be in this district around this place."
Yeah, but how did she know that he was going to be at the mall with the... I don't
Oh, no,
remember
that
the
was
names of the girls. What is
Neither
her
do
name?
I. I don't.
It starts with an S, and then the main dude starts with an N, right?
Yeah,
Not Nansha? No, I'm thinking of a character from JoJo.
yeah. I definitely think that was a bit of plot convenience, but it's still one of those things where, like, he was in the same place. I think it took him like 30 minutes to find him. Like going to a mall isn't the weirdest place, but like obviously you want the interaction to happen, so you need enough to like convince you where it's like, yeah, this can make sense.
Okay, Kaname is the main
Kaname.
character. And then Shuka,
Shuka.
and then... Oh, okay, so it is a manga.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everything's based on a manga.
Yeah, I
these
just don't know.
days.
I wonder how old the manga is.
That's a good question. How old is it?
That's like Darwin's Game manga.
Yeah. Once you're done looking that up, lend me your laptop. I want to show you something.
What is this?
It's a what?
It's your standard anime website. Good thing my laptop is curved away from
Oh
the
my God.
window, so no one
Anime
can see this.
titties. That's basically all he's seeing.
I don't want to
Is it
actually
like on
watch
Wikipedia or something?
it. You'd think it would say. Oh, okay.
All right.
Published. Oh, really? Started
What?
in 2012.
Oh, okay. So it's not super
I'm
old.
trying to think of like what phones were out in 2012. iPhone like
Yeah, iPhone like 4 or 5.
iOS 7 I think came out in 20 or what was the big iOS? Was it iOS 7 where everyone said this is going to change the way iOS is? That was
I think
7,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Because I remember being in engineering class and they said there was a girl in my class that was she couldn't wait for iOS 7 to come out.
Right. But yeah.
I don't know why I remember that. Just I do.
But yeah, right now I'm going to show you something that's like... So when I first started watching the episode, I saw the main character... What's his name again? I saw the main characters.
I don't even remember. I just
looked
looked
it
at
up 2 seconds ago. Completely forgot. No clue.
Yeah, I'll remember when I watch the show again.
Yeah. But basically, when I first started watching the show, I saw his sigil, and I immediately knew where it was ripped off from. Because that is not a unique power where it's like, oh, this is kind of like interesting or like this is really cool development. This is straight ripped out of a show, and I'm about to show you.
I feel like I've also seen it from somewhere else too. I can't think exactly. I have no idea how original the idea for the show is either. It could be completely ripping something off.
Immediately, again, this, like, The concept is slightly different, but it's very similar to an anime called Fairy Diary, or not
No
Fairy
idea.
Diary. Something Diary. I'll look that up in a sec too, but
So you're just showing me the powers of some other dude from another show?
yes. I'm trying to.
You don't know the name of the show yet. You want to show
No,
me
I know
so
the
bad.
name of the show. I just don't know the name of the character.
If you know the name of the show, didn't you just say you were gonna say what it is? Something Diary or Fairy or?
No, okay. So the name of the power that the main character has is the exact same as the power another character has in Fate's Stay Night. And then the premise of the show is very similar to Future Diary. That's what it was called.
I don't know what any of this is.
Yeah, I know this is unfortunate, but this is Fate. This is Fate's Stay Night. I'll show this to you. We can just like cut little bits and out, but whatever. But this is the power. Here.
Okay.
You can put volume or not. I think that's the right scene.
What is this animation style?
It's
Oh,
I don't
is
know.
this the show you showed me the other day?
Yeah, Fate's Stay Night. Dude, their animation is so clean. Like, if you wanted to watch this, I would so be down just because it's so clean.
Nope. Oh, this is a video of someone explaining it. Just tell me what it is. What does he do? He just
Well, no. The purpose is that you see, like, because the animation and everything is exactly the same as this. And so the point is for you to see it visually, and then you can be like, oh, wow, this is a straight rip off.
So he touched his shoulder, got some blue light coming out of it. What the?
So you can already see there's like a couple of similarities.
Okay, just because there's blue light doesn't mean anything. What's the similarity? Just tell me. Like,
Well, that's exactly what we saw in the show. Like, he can do the exact same thing.
what can he do? Because we still haven't really
He
established
can
what the guy
just
in the show can
summon
do.
weapons from his hands.
Okay, there you go. See? Yeah, he summoned weapon. Can anyone else do that in the show?
No, just this guy.
And what are other people's powers in the show? Well, you don't have to keep watching anymore. Just sit down.
Right. Basically, other people's powers are, like someone can summon. So the premise of this one is everyone's like a noble hero, and so I think some have like 9 lives and can kill. Others have like, I think Arthur is one of the main characters and stuff, and he can summon like, he has a sword that's invisible, and so you can't see what the distance is, so it's super hard to fight.
I mean, a lot of abilities in shows aren't unique.
I agree. I just thought that one was
It just reminded
literally,
you of it instantly.
No. It's the exact same. Like, his hands turn. What he does is he can summon anything that he has a thought of, and his hand turns blue, and it looks like there's wires coming out of his hands, and then like the weapon like summons like right in front of him. So I was like, wow, it's exactly the same.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And then Future Diary just has the same premise where it's like, basically, there's 7 people who have a diary on their phones, and their phones have unique powers. So one of them, the main characters, is he can see into the future, like 5 minutes into the future.
Okay.
And so I thought it was just really similar because like they're all trying to kill each other too. This show, like, they have powers, but everything's based on their phone, and they're also trying to kill each other. So I just thought it was, there was a couple of similarities.
Are they still high school teens?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're in high school. Yeah.
Is there a hot girl that you met with instantly that is it the first episode where
Yes.
she's already lying in his bed naked?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, why is that necessary? Oh, I wasn't
They
gonna
explained it. Oh, it made perfect sense. She said she was tired and didn't want to change out of her clothes.
No.
If I was a girl,
okay.
I'd sleep naked with a guy too.
Why? You just contradicted yourself.
What do you mean?
You said she didn't want to take off her clothes.
No, she said she. Oh, my bad.
She didn't want to crinkle. She didn't want to wrinkle her outfit.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
So you can't wear like underwear and a bra.
She was too tired. Didn't you hear? She was tired, dude. What do you want?
What plot convenience, dude?
What do you mean? That's not.
And he's not even
convenience.
blown back either.
Oh, he was so blown back.
He was blown back
I'm
a little
surprised
bit.
he didn't have a bloody nose.
Well, his nose, the way they animated, I don't know if it was just supposed to be the shadow of his nose, but it looked like he had a big nostril for a second.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe it was blood then.
No, I don't think it was blood because
Oh.
it went back to normal after they changed the angle of it.
That's true.
So she's all on his dick,
Yep.
and then she says she wants to start a family,
Yes.
and I'm just like, come on, man, why?
It made sense.
But
In
then
the second episode,
yeah, but then family actually means
clan.
like making a clan for
Yeah.
a game. So then, all right then.
I don't know.
And then he leaves, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, oh he's so adorable and cute, and making noises and shit." As you can see, I'm not into the super cutesy stuff.
Clearly.
It's fine.
I think it's funny. You genuinely don't like the fan service. Like, you don't like it at all.
Because that's the cringy thing about anime is when there's too much fan service, like a certain show.
That's like literally all of anime, though.
Because we were going to watch the
Yes.
2 episodes and
Which
then
we
play
did.
Smash.
Yes.
And then Aaron brought up that other show, as I previously stated.
Yep.
And he said, "You're going to hate me for this, but this is the most degenerate thing I can think of. You're going to actually hate me. If
Correct.
you thought that was bad, what we just watched in Darwin's game?"
It doesn't even compare to what I showed him.
Oh, absolutely not.
Does not compare. Like, what we saw in Darwin's game is, like, probably
Child's
rated
play.
G.
Yeah, that's G rating now.
And then what we ended up seeing was probably NC-17. Which is more than rated M for mature. Or, yeah.
It
or
should not be allowed
rated R. That's what it was.
to be seen by anyone. I think that's
It already got canceled in Japan. Like,
I
on
j-
one broadcasting network.
I genuinely think that show is a danger to society.
Do you want to go into it right now or no?
I think it's an unhealthy amount for certain people to watch.
I don't know. I think it's a joke.
And
I
for
thought it
that,
was funny.
I don't know the details on how it was aired.
Right.
I saw a few jokes about it on Twitter from some people that I followed,
Right.
but I don't know what the rating was. That better have been actual adult ratings.
Probably. The opening scene said this has very explicit content and it is explicit adult content. Like, be warned. Like, whenever you watch something on Hulu where it's like M for mature, like, there's like an opening credit where it's like, yeah, this is explicit content. Don't watch if you're like not old.
Oh, great. I literally found the tweet because I looked up the guy.
Okay.
So it's from Shofu, if anyone knows who that is. He said, "They can't do this to me." And he was quoting
Okay.
from a Crunchyroll
Yeah.
tweet that said, "News, Tokyo MX cancels." I'm just going to say it. It's Interspecies reviewers. TV anime broadcast in Japan replaces time slot with show about boats.
Oh, tragic. They're depriving the people of a culture that is.
I had no idea what this was. It sounded like it was legitimately rising in Japan. It was a big thing.
Oh, it probably is.
And people
I
were rating it
guarantee you
super
it is.
high.
Yep.
And I was like, I've never heard of this show. Is this? I looked at the art style. I was like, oh, it's got to be some weeb shit. But man, weeb shit is an understatement.
Oh, 100%.
An absolute understatement.
This show is purely for those who know what culture means. This is for the cultured and the cultured only. If you are anything below that, you will not be able to appreciate the content that is this show.
Dude.
You can't appreciate it. You haven't been exposed to enough anime to know like what quality looks like. This is, and I'm being dead serious, 10 out of 10. It is 100 out of 10. Dare I say 1,000 out of 10. This is the best content anyone could subscribe for. And if you're not watching this and enjoying the quality of the content, then you don't deserve to be an anime fan. I'm putting that out there.
This person replied to the tweet that
Yes.
Crunchyroll put out and said, I mean, this I can understand. It's a hentai. And some dude with a waifu profile picture said, no, it's not.
It's not. It's a comedy.
These people are really
It's a
out
comedy,
here.
dude. And you know why the people are cultured who watch this? You know why
Why?
only cultured people watch this? It's because they can get past just like the graphics, and they can understand the plot. They can understand the humor. They can understand the humor that comes with locker room talk. And this is exactly it.
So
It's just locker room talk.
I found another tweet that I had seen from him before,
Yeah.
but it says, It was a tweet that someone made and said Interspecies Reviewers is ranked as the second best anime of all time.
Oh my God, told you.
And it has a 9.13.
I
in
told you.
this profile pic of like the show picture for whatever website this is on.
Right, let me see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is exactly right. I think this is probably on.
That's a tweet picture. So
Right,
you're
right.
gonna have to.
It's probably like on Rank List or like IMBD.
The one in front of it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay, that makes sense. Another one I told you to watch, but I'm just saying.
And the guy and Shofu tweeted as it should be, and it's the picture of.
Yeah. See, I told you, dude. Even the people you.
It has to be a joke.
No,
it has to be a joke.
No, they understand. That's what I'm saying. They completely understand where I'm coming from, and you're still a baby. You're still like a little fledgling.
No, see,
you're
I
still
know.
growing into what anime is. Like
No,
this.
you're a complete weeb.
No, I'm not.
After you showed me that show, I've 100% realized you're a complete degenerate. Absolute degenerate.
I'm a degenerate.
Yes, because
wow,
you went and watched
Normie's
it.
trying to lash out.
Dude.
What's
No.
up, Normie? Yeah, what up? Say it. Say it, Normie.
Normal people
Yeah, Normie.
can look
Normie.
like your everyday Joe,
Yeah.
but secretly they watch practically underage girl hentai
That is false.
of different. It's okay because it's different races, right?
Dude, they were
Is that your
86.
excuse?
No, they were 86
Dude, that's
and
creepy.
5,000 years old.
I'm sorry if anyone knew you watched that legitimately.
Not people in the anime community.
Even people,
Oh, no. Okay,
people in
clearly
the
not
anime-
if it's rank 2.
No, I'd say
It was rank 2, was it not?
I think as a joke.
And I said it was a joke, too. I told you. It was a comedy. It's for the humor.
But I think you genuinely like it.
No. Oh, I think it's funny, yeah. I'll probably keep watching it because it's
No,
funny.
it's funny if it was funny when you showed me. Okay,
Yes, it was
That's
additionally funny.
because I had a reaction to it.
Right.
But you went on your own and watched. How many episodes of this have you watched?
1.
You've only seen this
I've
episode.
only seen this episode.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest contains. I'm kind of curious though, because it's like you can't. I don't think this could be successful in the format that it's holding it, where it's like they go pipe some girl or whatever, and then they review it. Like I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I
a
have no
sustainable
idea
plot.
how you really
Yeah, that's
go.
why I'm curious. It's like okay, like how is this gonna develop?
Oh.
Additionally, I was on Twitter and I was following Giguk. Anime. He does a lot of anime content, and he here. Let me read you his tweet. But basically, he's seen. There's 5 episodes right now on subbed. Obviously, I don't watch subs, so I haven't been able to catch up.
We watched the dub for this one.
Yes, we did. And so Giguk says this saga is just getting more and more hilarious. So clearly, it's getting funnier, which is interesting.
And what I'm saying is when Shofu tweeted that, I know for a fact that because of the way that I hear him in his
know
podcast,
for a fact.
Okay, sorry.
You
I
know
don't know
him
for a fact.
personally?
No, I don't know
Oh
him
my god,
personally.
dude! Why don't you hook us up?
All
Maybe
right.
come feature on this.
So
Yeah.
from the way that I perceive him from his videos,
Okay.
I can tell that if he used to be watching this, he'd be watching with a group of people, and he'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck is this, bro?" Like, and then
what's-
he'd start laughing like crazy
And
because it's cringe.
right, and what's to say he's not doing the same thing I'm doing, where it's like, yeah, I thought this was funny, and then you're making the assumption about me that it's like, no, you actually like
But-
this shit. What's the difference between me and him?
You watched it by yourself, and you watched it throughout. Cause
I
if
watched it first by myself. That's correct.
if
I don't think that's a
If
crazy
I
statement.
stumbled upon this and started watching it, I'd be
I'd
thinking
laugh.
to myself, "This is too much. This is awful." I'd click off of it. But
Yeah.
you
I
invested
continued.
yourself, and you kept
Yeah,
watching
because I thought this was funny.
by yourself.
What's to say he didn't watch it by himself? You're making the assumption he saw it with a group of people. That doesn't mean he actually did. He could have easily stumbled upon it just like I did, watched it by himself, and said, "Yeah, this is funny."
But when does the humor of, "Dude, what the hell is this? This is stupid. This is just hentai."
Right?
When does that stop being funny and turn into, now you're just watching it? Now you seem to like it.
I don't know. One episode?
Because
I
it's not
literally
like the
seen
jokes
one
were
episode.
hitting. It's not like the jokes are funny. The joke was just the fact
The
that
jokes
they
may not have
showed.
been funny to you, but it was more of a what the fuck factor, where you're just like, what the hell's going on? Like,
because
it's a shock factor. That's what the word was.
It was obscene.
It was. You're like, what's going
A
on?
normal
This is
frame,
hilarious.
the guy's talking, and then the hermaphrodite angel flies by, and her supposed to be a camel toe, but it's also her dick because apparently she has a dick.
Yeah, because
Flies by, and it's like huge in the screen as she goes by. That was unnecessary.
But it's
Why?
funny. Yeah, but you don't even initially like the regular content. Like, you cringe at it. So this to an extreme, you're just like, this is even worse. But someone who's like, yeah, I can deal with this, seeing that, they're probably like, oh, that's hilarious.
It was funny to watch it, but then
There
I
you go.
realized, okay, if I see, it's gonna get old, and then
Yeah, and so I'm curious to see how do they keep the content fresh? Because clearly, 5 episodes in, it's still doing this good.
But how
so
easy?
They must be doing something well.
How easy is it for you to say, "Oh yeah, it's funny, right? Haha, guys, it's really funny because look at how absurd this is." But then everyone can say that.
Yeah.
But how do I know that you genuinely don't actually enjoy watching it a little?
I don't know. I guess you'll just have to take me on my word.
I'm not going to take your word on it.
Additionally, I don't even think I'm the only person who's like, yeah, this is hilarious because other people are out here claiming this to be the number 2 best anime in the world. So there is a following, and let's think about this rationally. Say 100,000 people watch this and they're like, this is hilarious. You don't think there's going to be one person who's like, yeah, I actually really like this content?
Oh, I absolutely know.
Exactly.
For
so
sure.
Clearly there's going to be like, that's going to occur more often than you think. And I feel like because you're not closely associated to the anime community where you're like, oh, I know what people are like into and think are funny, you're just going to be like, no, that's gross.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, a funny show that it's not as sexualized.
Well, try to
or anything.
specify what your type of humor is, because then I feel like that'll.
Okay,
add
well,
to
I was just thinking of the show that I watched with some friends,
Right.
It's Ghost Stories, and it had an awful English dub because the show flopped in Japan, so they just said, "Hey, dub it however you want," practically, and they throw a lot of funny lines in there. It's obscene. It's supposed to be this kids show, and the characters are, I want to say over dramatized, but that's not the best way to explain it.
Overacting.
Exaggerating. Exaggerating, I guess. And they say a lot of things that you wouldn't expect.
Right.
Like swear words or really odd one-off references.
Okay.
And it's funny. It's funny to watch it in dub because it's bad.
You sure?
You know, it's a genuinely funny thing to watch every once in a while. I don't know have you ever seen the Ghost
No,
Stories
that's
dub?
what I'm saying. From what you're describing, I don't think that'd be funny. I think it'd be kind of like
I don't think
annoying
I'm
and,
giving
whatever.
it a good enough explanation.
All right, so how about
this?
this? How about this? For the next episode, you'll show me an episode of that, and then we'll come back and we'll see, like, is this funny, is this not? Does that work for you?
We can do that, or I'll show you the episode and we'll figure out if it's worth coming back to talk about.
Oh, I think it is because we're definitely watching episode 2.
It's not the funniest thing in the world,
right? But like, there's some humor to it, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, but we stopped kind of watching it because we got a little bored. Okay?
Ah, so it's not that funny.
We watched a decent amount of episodes.
How many episodes?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
We watched it a while ago.
Pretty convenient.
But the thing is, with this show, I could see myself showing my friends it.
Yeah.
And then we watch an episode and I'm like, bro, what is this?
Yeah.
Turn it off. But we end up watching the whole episode.
Right.
We wouldn't go back for round 2 and be like, all right, you guys ready for the next episode? It's gonna be hilarious again. No, dude. What? You know what it is. We know the punchline. It's just gonna be this shitty hentai show.
It's not. It's like everything's covered. Like, yeah, it's super sexualized, but like that's it.
But for
like,
you to
sexuality is a human. It's a human product. Like, the world has been sexualized. That's what it is.
This
like
is
the
why
Romans.
I say it's a danger because people are going to keep watching this, and I just don't think it's
What's
good for your
dangerous
mental.
about it?
It's not good for your mental health.
Why
bro.
not?
I don't think it
I
is.
can make the same argument about porn. Can I not? Porn is dangerous to your health. You should stop watching it. Does that mean you're going to stop watching porn? No, it doesn't. You're being hypocritical. Just because it's anime, you're saying it's wrong. But if it's real people, which is, I would argue, worse, you're saying it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that. Maybe you have a fair point, but
I definitely
don't know,
think I
dude.
do. You're just being biased because this is something that has not been accepted by society yet. And even though it's starting to, you're on the opposite side saying this shouldn't be. But I guarantee you if we were to travel back like 20, 30, 40 years and porn was just starting to become a thing, you'd be like, oh, this is wrong. But look at how we've progressed, and it's like yeah,
video
porn's accepted. Yeah, video porn.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say.
Yeah, brothels and all that
porn
shit.
mags and stuff.
Absolutely. But it's one of those things where it's like, just give it some time and it'll be accepted. Because it's the same thing as porn. The only difference is that no one's actually being harmed because it's animated. That's the difference.
There's probably still an argument, I believe, that it's better to see like actual people than it is to come up with the...
Why?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I guess it's a stereotype of
yeah, it is.
really nerdy people that watch only anime and hentai and
Yeah,
are super socially awkward. You can be socially awkward and watch normal porn, okay?
that's true.
But I feel like it's worse when the person exclusively watches something like my bad, I just hit my laptop.
Oh, you're good.
When they exclusively watch okay, if you wanted to compare two social outcasts,
Correct.
both watched porn,
Okay.
and they just didn't know how to talk to people or girls or anything
Yeah.
like that, and one of them watched
Regular porn.
and the other one just watched hentai,
Yeah.
I'd say the one that watched hentai would probably be weirder.
Yeah, but that's again, I feel like that's just a fallacy where it's like we're just basing it on nothing. Like
Oh,
no
yeah.
one has
I mean, I'm
evidence. No
only
one's-
basing it off of like
your perception of
stereotypes
stuff.
and
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like you can't jump to those assumptions without thinking about it all the way, because I feel like it's one of those things where you have to, if you're gonna make the argument people shouldn't be watching that show, then you have to commit to that argument and say people shouldn't watch porn, period. Like you can't have it both ways where it's like you can go half and it's either you're all in or all
But
out.
I also think that's a bad argument to make because
Why?
then you're just saying it's either one or the other, black or white. You're saying there's no grayscale.
No, there could be a grayscale, and I feel like I could still argue that like the animated one's better than the real life one.
Well, I don't care enough to argue with you about the logistics of watching porn and how it affects young children and adult males and virgins alike.
I win, and we will be watching episode 2.
Well,
You best believe when
We'll
episode 2
probably
comes
watch it
out.
only for the podcast. If we weren't going to be sitting here talking about it on the podcast,
you wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't watch
Oh,
it.
I completely agree with that. But
So I'm going to have another
it's for the entertainment.
more torture.
Yes.
More torture. It's going to be
We'll
it's gonna
make
be
a
bad.
compilation of all your reactions at some point.
But the thing is, to me,
Yeah?
the reaction's just going to be less and less because it's just going to be me
That's
face
fair.
palming the whole time. And that's where I feel like it
But
gets
I
kind
think-
of boring and it switches from
No.
watching it as a joke to genuinely watching it because you're getting that attachment to it. You've watched it for a while. I have a friend
Yeah?
who watches not Stranger Things. What's the other one? What's the Reasons Why?
13 Reasons
13
Why.
Reasons Why.
Yeah?
We both shit on it. We say it's a bad show. It's stupid.
Okay.
And he watched, like, I think the first season.
Yeah.
And then when the second season came out, he said, bro, I know it's bad, but I already invested myself in it. So, like, I got to watch it because, like,
Yeah.
now I'm interested to see how it ends. And I said,
Yeah, because
bro, just don't watch it.
No, because clearly the story was good enough where it was like, yeah, I kind of.
No, it's not
It
a
was
good
a guilty
story.
pleasure.
Yeah, we all have guilty pleasures.
Yeah, so why are you bashing on
it's-
his?
No, it's not, I don't think it's his guilty pleasure.
Why not? Clearly
just-
it was.
he
He was
was-
embarrassed to tell you.
No,
but
he wasn't
still
embarrassed.
Oh, he wasn't.
Well, I mean, he said it in a
Oh.
jokingly way of like,
Yeah, because he wanted to like make a comment about it and then hope that you guys wouldn't bash him, and then you guys definitely.
oh no,
did.
we were bashing
Yeah,
him. and
I
he
know
wasn't-
that.
He was. It's not like he was expecting us not to, or he didn't want us to, because he was scared. It was just genuinely. He said, "Yeah, but I already started watching it." And now, like, I don't know. He just has that wiring in his brain where it's like, I need to continue watching it because I already started it, and I need to see how it ends now. Because he likes watching shows from beginning to end.
Yeah, he wants a bit of closure. which
I will
completely
definitely
understand.
jump off ship, just like we did with Galactic Heroes.
Oh,
I am not
absolutely.
watching that
Oh, I
anymore.
completely agree. Like that one was completely boring. Not for me. Maybe at a later date, once I'm like 40 and have that acquired taste of patience and chess.
It's really hard for me to keep my word. So if I tell myself I'll watch it eventually,
It just will never happen.
that's not happening. There's
Yeah.
so many other things that are.
It's like when you told me, like, oh yeah, I'll eventually watch Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, it still
never
hasn't
happened.
happened.
Yep,
So if I'm gonna say I'll eventually watch
And
Galactic Hero, yeah, it's not happening.
basically.
Especially since I started reading the manga for JoJo's
Right.
for part 6.
Has that ended yet?
What do you mean?
Are you still going with that? How far are you?
I haven't read for like a week.
No, I know, but like.
I'm on like chapter 15. There's like 158
oh,
or
God, that means you're gonna
65.
keep talking about JoJo's.
Oh, and then
God.
there's part 7 and then part
Oh,
8, which is going on. And I want to know about part
no.
7 and 8 because there's so much. I know stuff about it a little bit.
Right.
And the characters seem interesting, and I'm just so excited to get there. But I feel bad saying that I almost feel like part 6 is a drag, even though it's not.
Right.
But I'm an instant satisfaction person,
Ah.
so I just want to know.
Yeah.
I'm okay with spoiling myself. I do that with games a lot,
Oh, I hate.
especially
people who do that.
Pokemon.
Why do you do that? Why not just like wait, let it? you are depriving yourself of the buildup.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. Because then the payoff is worth it. And you know that's true. Because, like, the reason they're setting it up like that, I would hope, is that by the time you get to the actual good parts, it's not only a good part, it's a phenomenal part because you've experienced everything before it. And it's like every time you skip through it or you're like, fuck it, I'll just give it a spoiler, then you're depriving yourself of that. And then you can't truly enjoy what it is you're reading or watching.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was younger, and
Right.
I first got my Game Boy and had Pokemon Ruby,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Pokemon really at all. I didn't even watch the TV show or whatnot.
Okay.
So all the Pokemon were new to me.
Uh-huh.
So any game that was before or after Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire
Yeah.
was new to me. So there's certain Pokemon from Generation 1 and 2 that just weren't in Ruby and Sapphire.
Right.
So when I first played Blue version, it was crazy to me because I knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was new. Or say I went to like the Battle Frontier and Pokemon Ruby, or maybe Emerald, they'd have Pokemon that were from like Fire Red and Leaf Green that you could transfer over, but I never had a link cable, so I could never trade with people.
Right.
So some of these Pokemon, I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And it was really cool as a child, but now that I have the access to the internet,
Yeah. It's
I
kinda
just spoil
whatever.
myself.
Yeah.
And even for the 5th generation, those games came out in Japan first.
Yeah.
And I was looking some stuff up online. I was watching some gameplay of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously this was only like a week before
Right.
the games came out in America. But I saw the full list of the Pokedex, and I was looking at all the Pokemon. I thought they were super cool. I really wanted to get a certain team put together. I still enjoyed the game,
Right.
and I still do enjoy Pokemon games.
Okay.
But for Sword and Shield,
Yeah.
there was a ton of leaks, and I couldn't help myself.
Oh my god.
I had to look at them.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I did.
I was about to say, no, you don't. It's the same argument you made with your friend. Just stop. It's that easy, right?
It
Just
is.
stop.
But I was lying in bed.
Oh,
The
because
game
you
was
were
gonna
lying
drop.
in bed.
I was lying in bed. The game was going to
That's
drop
the
in a few
reason
days.
why, dude. You were bro. Why didn't you start with that? You were lying in bed.
Oh,
Of course you couldn't.
Yeah, of course.
You had
Oh,
to.
see, I'm
Oh
so
my
glad
God.
you understand.
Oh, completely, dude.
So
If you're
glad you
lying in
understand.
guys, if you're lying in bed, you have to. You
Of
just
course.
have to.
Yeah.
Like, you want money and you're lying in bed, you just have to. Like, anything happens.
Do you want anything? It'll just appear in your hands with a blue light.
Exactly.
You're like
You just have to be lying in your bed, though. What type of bed do you have? Twin?
Twin.
Twin XL?
No, what's
Just a twin?
twin tall? I think it's called.
Twin tall. Yeah, if you get okay, so hear me out. You got to go to a mattress store,
Okay.
get a twin tall, and it only works with a twin tall. This is 100% confirmed. And then you just lay down, wish for something, and it'll happen.
Well, I wasn't wishing for the leaks. I was just scrolling through Reddit, and then I saw some leaks.
Okay, so
and
you
then
have to
I
be
went
on Reddit.
4chan, and then I
Okay.
saw some leaks, and then I started watching a live stream. And
Gotcha,
then...
gotcha. I assume you went to like Rule 34 website afterwards, correct?
No,
Let's be honest, you definitely did.
I might have went on. I might have went on /B,
Oh my god.
but I wasn't there for the porn, dude. I swear.
Oh, you were there for the plot. Fucking hypocrite.
Bro, you're the one that watches porn for the plot.
Oh my god. Well, we're not gonna get into that.
You're not gonna get into that.
No, this is a PG podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We just talk about big anime titties, and you're out here saying this is a PG.
Yeah, this is
podcast.
definitely a PG podcast.
How long has this been? Holy.
Yeah, it's been an hour, dude.
Almost an hour.
Yeah,
We really went off on a tangent there, but
we did. I felt like it was good though.
I guess running back full circle. No, I think it was good too. If I had to rate the first 2 episodes
oh yeah,
of
you
Darwin's
never told
game,
me. Yeah.
I'd say
Well, first start off with, did you like it? Yes or no?
yeah, I will continue to watch it. I think
Okay.
it's interesting.
Cool. And then after
There's
that,
gonna be some fan service, but I can get over it. It's
Right.
whatever. I think the main idea of the show is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's something similar to what I've enjoyed in the past.
Correct.
There's blood. It seems like it'll be a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be obviously a team of people, and there's going to be some bad organization that seems to be hinted at already. So I'll follow through with it. Why not? Another show to watch.
Right.
Uh,
Let's before you rate it though, let's come up with a scale. What are we gonna use to rate animes from here on out? How are we gonna judge this?
it's going to be... We're gonna have to like do that on the side to come up with a
Like a new
scale.
scale?
Because on the spot, I couldn't tell you exactly what would make something a 0, what would make something a 5, make
I
something a
don't
10.
know. No, I'm not even saying that. Like, how are we gonna judge this? Like, based on anime titties? Like, are we gonna base this
No.
on like on a scale of no anime like a flat chest to big anime titties? Where does this land?
I don't even know. I was gonna say something like C cups, but I don't even know what the sizes for boobs are.
I know A is the smallest, and then let's just say G. It goes up to a G.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Why not?
is it like
Yeah,
A
it's
cup?
A, B,
but then
C,
you have
D.
like double. Wait, what?
Double, yeah, like double D, double.
Yeah, what's the double D? What's that?
I think it's just like slightly bigger.
Bigger than D?
I don't know. I'm not a chick, dude.
But
I don't
then
buy bras.
smaller than E? Is E
Yeah.
a thing?
I think it'll go up to E. Just go.
Dude, some of those
A to
girls in inter
Oh, they definitely have
interspe-
E's.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was DeviantArt right there.
Yeah.
It's like I was watching someone make a PowerPoint presentation of DeviantArt clips and art.
It was funny.
Jesus.
All right, what do you do? Darwin's
Middle
game.
ground for
C
now.
cup?
Yeah.
All right, you'll give it a
It's
C cup.
interesting. I want it to, at least for the first few episodes. It's just establishing the show. It'll probably get better.
Hopefully. All right, so we get a C cup for the first rating. This will be our new rating scale.
We'll flesh it out a little more later. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the Just One More podcast. Do you have anything else to say here, Aaron? Or
Before you start bashing on interspecies reviewers, just realize you definitely watch porn, and I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
I guess you guys can't hate.
Correct.
So comment down below if you guys have any suggestions for us, what you liked about the show. If you have any criticisms, we're definitely down to listen to anyone.
Yeah.
But other than that, we'll be here again in like 5 minutes recording the next episode.
Bingo.
So, all right, talk to you guys later.
All right, peace.
And cut. Nice, dude. All right, another episode in the bag. You think it was pretty good?
Yeah, I thought it went well, dude. But really, pretending like you're not a full-on weeb,
What do you mean? You're not talking about Jessica, are you?
bro. It's a pillow.
No, it's my waifu, dude.
Yeah, it's a waifu pillow.
She has feelings too.
She's an inanimate object.
No, dude. No, you're hurting her feelings.
She doesn't have feelings.
Dude, now she just turned. Dude, you really upset her. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Dude.
It's a pillow.
Fuck you.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
What's that, Jessica? Jessica, I'm sorry. I'm trying to straighten him out right now. Aaron, apologize to Jessica now.
You were just talking to an inanimate object.
Apologize now.
Adam, what are you doing?
Dude,
Adam?
you're getting me pissed off.
Adam, I don't like what you're doing with your hands. Adam, stop. No. Adam!